Today I took the chance to go to my gear room and look at my knives, and I want to tell you a little story of one of the most iconic knives there is, and it's of course the Bowie knife I'm talking about here. The iconic knife design that I think we all know. I think there's a lot of people out there who doesn't have a particular knife in mind when you say Bowie. So today we're going to talk about this design and the man behind it and the story about it. The story begins in the 19th century, and the Bowie knife is named after a guy called Jim Bowie. He's not perhaps the exact designer of the knife, but he's the one who kind of led it to the iconic knife that it is today. The first event that gave Jim Bowie his reputation as a fighter was a fight called the Sandbar Fight. It took place in Texas the 19th July in 1827. A guy named William Travis and Jim Bowie got in a dispute, and this ended up in a duel in Sandbar in Texas, where it's said that Jim Bowie fought fearlessly against William Travis. This resulted in giving Jim Bowie a reputation nationwide as a fearless fighter. Feather stick to get it going. Yeah, just as I thought. The knife cuts like a charm, even though been beaten a lot. To test how sharp it is, you can sit it in your nail, and if it slides off, it's not sharp. Even though I've beaten a lot on it, it sticks in the nail like it's just been sharpened. And that's pretty impressive. See there? Nice curls. Cheating a bit today, using a lighter. The final big boost of his reputation is at the Battle of Alamo. It's said that he used his big knife to fight and defend for Texan independence. So this is where the blade and the man, truly mixes in and becomes the iconic story it is today. In 1836, the Battle of Alamo, Jim Bowie is said to be sick, perhaps from pneumonia, but he doesn't give up his fort. He keeps fighting, and he inspires his men to keep fighting. It's said that even though he's sick and wounded, he fights bravely and cuts down a lot of enemies with his knife, and therefore, holding stand and not giving up the fort. This, of course, gives Jim Bowie his final reputation as the great American hero and frontiersman that he was, and also links him and the Bowie knife together in a wild story about Western expansion in America and tough life in the frontier and the prairie of America. There's even myths that say that Jim Bowie created this knife design out of a broken sword, but there's no historical evidence of that. It just adds to the mystery and the iconic tale of a great man. Give the story a little. A lot of small manufacturers or bigger manufacturers of knives in America, in Solingen in Germany of course, and in Sheffield in England, started making these knives with the clip point and the cross finger guard as we know today, the design of a Bowie knife. As the knife design starts to be exported out in the world from these manufacturers, the style of knife, a Bowie knife, becomes more iconic, more known worldwide. So this is where it all starts to become this known knife as it is today. I don't think that anybody that says a Bowie knife doesn't think of a cowboy riding out, sitting by the campfire, breaking open a large game with his Bowie knife. An iconic knife that I think every knife lover knows. As I said, for me this is like the perfect knife for what I do. I use my knife for, as you've seen, small firewood. I never baton big logs or anything. I use it for cutting whatever you want around camp, and I use it for prepping food. When you cut with a too wide knife, it cuts a little bit and then it just splits stuff open, and you want something to cut with, and this here is just perfect for food preps. It's for me also as big as a knife can be without it being big, bro big. So it's still a handy knife. You can peel an onion easy with it without having a small sword in your hands. It holds the edge really well, as we just seen here. It's the traditional steel that they use, PUMA. Another thing that makes it really nice for cutting, the grind here is a hollow grind, meaning that it's not flat, it has a concave, and that makes it really good for cutting also. One hell of a knife. Really beautiful. So if you're looking for a Bowie knife like mine, go to pumaknife.com and check them out. They have a whole selection of Bowie knives. This here is the original Bowie from PUMA. You can also check out the Tucson, the Sedona and the Phoenix. That's newer versions of the Bowie knives, and it's a small, medium and really big sized Bowie. So check them out. You can also always use the code LAST10 and get 10% off any purchase on pumaknives.com. So check out their Bowie knives and all of the other nice knives in there. So for now, thank you. I'll sit and enjoy my coffee, and you can enjoy the view with me. I enjoy making these videos, and I enjoy that you like them. So like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube. Have a nice day.